Very, very interesting one. Volume calculations, all possible scenarios and everything what comes with this. And first we have a look the simple one, volume calculation, the single surface. But nevertheless, you have two options here. One is a simple selection, calculate volumes, or the second one where you duplicate the point cloud, delete the area and create a new surface, and you actually have more control. You see which is lower surface, which is upper surface, and so on. So this is point one. Secondly, we will see the calculation based on two surfaces from one of our customers. Then we'll see the option how to design new surface in 3Dsurvey. And I will link you to a YouTube video or webinar video about how you can import surface from third-party software like AutoCAD or something like that. You can directly import in a 3Dsurvey also. Design surface in AutoCAD and put it in 3Dsurvey. Okay, very good. Let's start with my first example. Here you already see this construction site. It's already classified nicely. And what's the most important to know with the volume calculation is we always advise you to calculate volumes based on a regular grid mesh. Okay, this is super important to know. So calculate the volumes based on regular grid mesh or DSM. Don't use it the full 3D mesh, because with full 3D mesh, which is the second option, can be super tricky if you have some kind of balloons inside or like a cave areas or something like that. You will get fully wrong number of volumes. So we motivate you, set the first option for volume calculation, regular grid mesh. It's also the fastest way to calculate it. I already classified this point cloud before. And when you do the volume calculation, go to grid cell size to 0.5, or if you would really like to be very detailed, very picky, to 0.2. But don't take it if you have an area kilometer per kilometers, take 0.5, otherwise you would need 128 gigabyte of memory. Smoothing cell size 1 cell or 0 cell, because you don't want to lose too much detail. Optimize this all and just click calculate. And the DSM or regular grid mesh is calculated super quickly. It looks like so. If I also turn triangles, so those are no triangles with a half meter size. And the fastest way, if you have that kind of stockpile here, is just selecting your area of interest. When you do the selection, take care what you select, because the lower surface will actually being calculated based on the boundary of your selection. Okay, so here is pretty flat, it's not a problem. You see I'm using the deselect tool also to correct my selection a bit. Okay, so you can play with this as much you like that. And nevertheless, let's leave this part here like so, that it goes like here up, that we see the mistake. When I select my area of interest and calculate and click calculate volume, this is the simple way of the selection. The lower surface will be interpolated surface. The upper one is the selection surface. And let's calculate the volume. We see here 4,244 cubic meters of fill, a bit of cut, total area, 3D area, 2D area, everything like that. I just confirm it. I see it like so. And this is the fastest way, maybe not the best one, because the lower surface, you can see it here, but it's not so nicely visible. So I didn't select here maybe enough, and that's why it's not connected here straightforward, but I did this on purpose. And if I go to volume, I can see this volume again here, and I can move with my mouse here, and I can see before surface, after surface, and fill and cut values. So in this case, actually, we see 10 meters of fill material before surface on height and everything like that. Okay, so this is one quick way to calculate out the volume of a standard stockpile, the most easy one. Let's clear the selection and show you the second approach of the same scenarios. So let's say here we have our first surface first surface. I can rename it. I can go back, and the same way I selected before, I select this on point cloud. Before I delete this, I will duplicate my point cloud. So I right mouse click on a point cloud and select, oh, not actually right, but I have here duplicate function. So what I'm doing now, I'm just making a copy of my point cloud because I will delete some points out of it and I would like to keep the original one. Okay. Couple of seconds to copy those 70 million points, something like that. So here is my copy. On this one, I will delete the selected points, delete selection. Hard for my computer right now. Okay, and now we have a hole in the point cloud, and I will go and go again, mesh, regular grid mesh, same parameters, and I will now actually prepare me my second one to have better control. So if someone asks me, okay, which was your upper surface, which was your lower surface, now I can go inside and see. I can even colorize it. So let's make the lower surface green and the upper one realistic. Okay, and now I can exactly see also with the bounding box. So sometimes, now this is the easy scenarios, but sometimes it's kind of super difficult to see small part of the vegetation or side or anything like that. And in this way, I can really see what is actually my volume. So let me play a bit with the bounding box. I'm using the right mouse. If I'm using the control button and right mouse click, I can slide down my stockpile and always see here actually the upper and lower surface really nicely. So in this way you can visualize you perfectly and you see where two surfaces are going together. And now it's also not so important where I actually select my area of interest. Even if I go over this one, shouldn't be anything wrong because the surfaces here are fully equal. But nevertheless, let's calculate it just for this part. Okay, calculate volume and everything else. So now we have the first surface. I can also switch because I know my first surface is actually upper surface, and the second is first. So you can also switch here. Then the cut and fill values are also right one. And in this way, I should get pretty similar results. There is a minimum difference because I select now correctly the complete stockpile, and here we have the volume. So in this approach,
so this is more accurate.
It's difference because I didn't select this part here. Okay, so it's accurate the same, but now you exactly know which is your upper and which is your lower surface. And when you save the projects, you always have this also saved. So it's just the safer way to calculate all volumes.
And okay, it's better to visualize.
And it's also better to visualize, as you saw it before. Okay, so let's go to volumes, the same options here, just deselect to continue on my working. Okay, let's continue on first mesh. Now another option is you can design new surfaces. So there are a number of functions here. So let's say I have here a plane or something like that, and I would like to flatten this one, and I will like to set height to or increase height to plus 5 meters or something like that. I can easily do it. Okay, and create a new surface. So when I have something like that, I can make it maybe kind of more fluently with flatten in a way like that. So you can play with this limitless. Okay, and create your design surfaces for the new volumes. Or if you need to calculate the surface from specific height, you can go back to point cloud. I will take this modified point cloud already. I will give my height here, so 286. For example, if you need to calculate volume from some specific plane and realistic surface, select all your points, set height to, let's say, 290 height, and immediately move all the points to specific plane, like you see it here. And again, mesh, regular grid mesh, same parameters, and now I can play with those two. So I have some plane which is cutting off my surface, as you can see it here, and I can calculate free volume, how much material you can put in some stockpile or hole or anything like that. Okay, I'm a bit rushing because of a long time. Another option is that you create your new service based on CAD data. Okay, so let me turn off the point cloud. I have mesh here, like that. I go to CAD, and I can take, let's say, a few points, which I measured with the GNSS device. Even I could add some break lines in my data or something like that. If you have actually manually measured stockpile 2 years ago with your total station device or GNSS device, even if you have that kind of points, you can use the mesh algorithm, so triangulate mesh from CAD data, calculate the surface out of it with break lines and everything. Important, no, this is a full 3D mesh. We have a special trick here to convert it as a regular grid mesh. Right mouse click and convert to point cloud, 100 points per square meters. And this is now actually the point cloud. And then, based on this point cloud, calculate a regular grid mesh with the same parameters. And now you have a regular grid mesh with this data. Okay? And calculate it out of it. Okay, this was part of it. Not to spend too many time because we are low with time. What I would like to show you, the fourth option, AutoCAD surface in 3Dsurvey. Go to our 3Dsurvey webpage, in search, write AutoCAD. The first webinar which pops up is step-by-step how to import 3Dsurvey point cloud, meshes and everything from AutoCAD to 3Dsurvey. Check out this one and you will find also a lot of interesting tips and tricks inside of this one. Okay? Oh, let me see, where are we currently? I think we came till the end.
Yeah,
with this
Marco,
one.
do you know what we missed about volumes? Some people would like to change the color.
Oh,
you know, of the point cloud.
Do you have something ready, or should I do it?
Yeah, you can do it, or I can. It doesn't matter.
Well, feel free to rest a bit.
Okay. Okay, so I can show you on my screen. So when you have a volume like this, maybe you don't like the colors so much, you can go to the volume tab, and here you have all the possibilities to change these colors. So basically there are 4 colors for maximum cut and minimum cut, and the same for fill. So you can simply double click on the color box and change it. So maybe you want to go from green to purple, and from orange to confirm it, from orange to light magenta. That's debatable if that looks better, but it's different if that's what you want. And one last thing I would like to add regarding the volumes is this nice hover over info box. If you move over the volume that's visualized like this, you can see how much there is fill exactly at that point, and where was the height before and where it is after. So if we go on top of that pile, we can see there's a fill of 2 meters, and behind it there's a little cut, well, of just 6 centimeters. But that's very informative info box. Okay, that's what I had to add.
Thank you, Mattia. So I just forgot a small part before we finish with the volumes one. I have a nice example from our customers where he fly 2 flights on the different days for the same site. So just a quickly overview how it looks like, something like that. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So here we have actually 2 scenarios. This is the first surface when there was a parking slot or something like that. The point cloud is already classified and filled and polished for the volume calculation. This is already the surface. Then we have a second measurements where they grab a lot of material away. Probably some hotel was built there. Then the third option was actually design surface based on a specific height. We can see it here, 28. And actually, they also import a CAD boundary, so you can select your area of interest for volume calculation also based on CAD data. You can draw it in 3Dsurvey or you just import it. And right now I have my first plane, second plane, and based on this, you can calculate out the volume. And here we can see the volume actually from the 2 surfaces calculated in 3Dsurvey. So pretty nicely visualized everything and super accurate at the end. So I would just like to say there's no other technology that can do this job so nicely that this, okay? And beside, of course, you get also an orthophoto. So this is kind of a starting point. Okay, let me turn off the mesh, the CAD data, to not see it. So this was the starting point. I also need to turn off the volume. So this was the starting point, and then this was the end point.
Marco, now that you were going through all of these things, one thing we could mention also is you can simply generate a report on your project, like measurement report. It will include all your volumes, your profile lines, or not all, just those that you select. And you can represent them on a chosen orthophoto.
Exactly.
It's really quick.
So it's generated doc file. Let me try to open this one. And you should have the main important information inside. So where's your volume calculation area, imported fill and cut materials, the profile lines where you calculate them, drawn profile lines, and everything like that.